Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. I had to have a cup of tea and a bit of a sip after the other reading. It was a little bit full on for me. Sometimes I forget, how empathic I am when I'm pulling in energies, and I need to be a little bit more thoughtful about how I protect myself sometimes before I do the readings. But I'm all good. Please don't worry about me. I'm all good. I know how sensitive I am, so... a sensitivity that a family tried to knock out of me, even still to this day. I don't think it's going anywhere, folks. Not at my age. Still very, very sensitive. And I do know that other people are the same too, because I speak to people all the time who have this great sensitivity that I don't know why people who are bullies see as such a weakness. And I think I was talking the other day about, watching a poor tarot reader get hammered on Facebook, on YouTube. Unfortunately, it was by a Capricorn, so I felt that all Capricorns sort of got looped into that at the end of the day, which was a bit sad. I think that people need to understand that a star sign, we tend to use our sun signs and say, we're a Libra or Aquarius or whatever else, and really we're a combination of many different signs, and the way it makes up our personalities, of course, is the signs are in different houses when we're born. So we're made up of lots of different parts of star signs. It's just because we've been humanized and I guess socialized to use our sun signs. But I know, for other modes of thought, the moon sign is far more important or far more relevant. And for me, I can say to you that even though I have a lot of attributes of a Capricorn, my Libra moon is a lot more evident. And with the sensitivity I have, I really believe that's the Scorpio in my ascendant that gives me that very sort of deep, easily hurt side of me. So yeah, so I sort of had a bit of a rant the other day about how cruel people can be to people who are providing them, and I'm not talking about myself here, but how cruel people can be to people who are providing a service on Facebook. Some people they don't do personal readings, they don't do anything else other than provide a service, and I think that is amazing. So for all the people out there who do that, I want to say, regardless of how many subscribers you have, how your readings are, what your motives are, it doesn't matter. You as a subscriber have every right to, not watch a reader if you don't like what they're saying. So remember that. But being cruel is not humane. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups coming out here after I just did the whole Queen of Cups moment. The Queen of Cups represents the water signs, Cancer, Pisces and Scorpio. She's a person who's very intuitive. She feels very, very deeply, but she's also very comfortable with her emotions. She feels them fully. This often represents a mother figure, not so much a wife, more of the mother energy here. But certainly someone who could be a counselor, tarot card reader, any of those things there. Now behind that we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles represents the earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo, but again coming back to the attributes of that sign. So she's very practical, she's a little money focused, she's more logical about things, she's probably quite structured. The Capricorn in me likes to write lists, and I know that's very much about having that very ordered thinking that we have here. Okay, and behind that we have the Strength card. This is really interesting here. Someone's trying to make their mind up between two people here, and trying to find the energy here to make a decision between two people. And then we have the Judgment card, which of course came up in the What's Cracking reading. So there's definitely some sort of rebirth here. You could be dealing with a Cancer here, especially with the water sign up the front. So if you're dealing with a Cancer, but the other thing the Chariot talks about is moving forward, and then we have the Lovers card. So someone's made some sort of choice here about moving forward in love. It's taken every strength of their being to come to this decision, conclusion, whatever you'd like to call it. But there's some sort of rebirth here. So it could be that this person is from your past, or has had some sort of connection with you in the past. This could be you making a decision to have a rebirth or have another go round with someone, but definitely moving forward here for a new start. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's get the story. Two of Wands. So we're going to get repeat cards. I am using the Cosmic Tarot now. I use the Tarot Mucha for the What's Cracking reading. So different deck. Two of Wands coming out here. So we're talking about taking a new path, being offered a new path, being given an opportunity to move in a different direction here. I do see the sun peeking out behind the clouds. I do see birds moving. The card has a very strong feeling that something beautiful is about to be offered here. Could be very passionate, somewhat. It's a very sexual energy, the Ace of Wands. Can be a new physical start. So for some of you, this may be more about love and romance rather than a family or friend relationship. The funny part is in the What's Cracking, it was sort of a combination of both, but now I think I'm doing a romance reading here. So the Moon card coming out. Now the Moon card represents Pisces and Cancer as well. So there is a little bit of a strong feel around the water signs here. This card talks about things being hidden, things not being fully revealed at this point in time. Something has to be said. Oh, wow. Okay. I've got to let you know that, oh wow, that I do. When my granddaughter, number 3, was very little, she started doing this thing where she would walk around in a very deep voice and go, oh wow, when she barely said anything else. And I used to laugh at her and think, I wonder where she got that from. Now I look at my grandchildren all the time and I realise what an influence I am on them. So I'm very well behaved, and I try not to swear too much because they pick up on lots of things I do. The Ace of Pentacles here is talking about something solid. There's a solid offer coming in here, solid new start, something passionate, but something that's yet to be revealed. This is like a new pathway is coming to you here. So some of you have closed out some sort of cycle here and you're ready to move on a new path. This is absolutely beautiful here. Okay, Five of Wands. Now the Five of Wands can talk about conflict, but it's sort of conflict. It's more about bickering. It isn't sort of full-on fighting or really hurting. It's that sort of bickering conflict. But it can sometimes be conflict in your own mind, like that going backwards and forwards on something. So something here you've been going backwards and forwards on. You may have thought that if this opportunity came up again, that you would refuse it, that you would not take it, but you're willing to listen to this person this time around. And now I have the Ace of Swords. So there is 3 aces here. This is about a truth. This is about something that needs to be revealed. And we can see that with the Moon card here. There's something here that hasn't been talked about, something that hasn't been spoken about. So I do not have the Ace of Cups here at this time. 3 of Cups coming in. I got a strong feeling in the first, when we did the mini read, that some of you are dealing with someone who's walking away from another situation. Someone that's closed something out, something that's finished in the other situation to free them up to move forward here. Okay, 4 of Swords coming out. So they may have taken a bit of a period of rest in between. All right, let's just go through it again. I've got the Queen of Cups coming up with the Queen of Pentacles. When I see the Strength card and the Rebirth, I think somebody's made a decision between 2 people, may have left one person to move towards someone else, but definitely some sort of rebirth coming through. Forward movement, perhaps after a period of stagnancy and a lot of anxiety from this person, but they've made a choice in love here. This is definitely about love. I was curious because the Ace of Cups hasn't come up here, and the Ace of Cups is the card of love. And I thought, how interesting that it's the only ace that's not here. And it's right in the middle of the deck here. So that's quite interesting. 3 aces though, which is pretty huge. And after seeing so many major arcana in what's cracking red, it's a blast really. Somebody is coming here to offer a new path. Someone's opening a new direction for you. This is a brand new start. Someone has realized their truth. They've had some sort of awakening and walked away from something that was no longer serving them. Something that could have been quite harsh. They could have been in quite an abusive sort of situation. So they've been able to move away from that. I have this feeling with the Four of Swords that they've probably taken some time out to heal before making up their mind to move forward. This is something that perhaps you may have realised, but may not have realised the depth of what was going on here. So for some of you, this can be quite a surprising, perhaps surprising situation here. This person may have been very unhappy and dissatisfied with something that's gone on since perhaps they last saw you or last were around you. You could be dealing with someone who's never confessed their level of feelings, or you may never have had insight into this. Maybe you were just very upset, angry, and despondent is the word they're using here, when this person and you went your separate ways. But I don't think you realised the depth of what was really going on here. But this person is making their way back towards you to offer you something here. Now, the card I've got out is the card of Chop Wood, which I think is very interesting. So I think what Spirit is saying here is that you need to just be patient still. There may be a period of time for this to come in. And it may still take a period of time because this person is still healing. So they may not come in while they're still healing here. But this is being grounded in everyday experience and humility. And it says there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. This is one that people need to listen to because people are so impatient and think the more impatient you are, the longer it seems to take. So it says, taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you ever closer to what you seek. I think that this is really about understanding that, you know, when we're emotionally attached to something, the release is very difficult for us as human beings with that attachment. And I've talked about it before, and learning to release the attachment so all you have left is love for the person. And this is now the time to release any expectations. It looks like people have someone coming back in, but it still could take a period of time, especially with the energies we have here. This person is doing some very, very deep level healing. And no amount of trying to wake a person up is going to work. So you just have to be patient until they've done the work they need to do. Have a wonderful weekend.